Imagine this. You walk into a room. She's there, the kind of woman who turns heads without even trying. She's composed, untouchable. The type of woman other men orbit around, hoping for a glance, a smile, a chance. But she sees you, and something shifts. Not because you're flashy, not because you're trying, but because there's something about you she can't quite decode, and that mystery pulls her in like gravity. Here's what most men never realize. Even the most confident, independent, high-value women, they all have blind spots. Psychological soft targets hidden beneath their polished exterior. Not because they're weak, but because they're human. And the moment you stop playing the obvious game, flattery, money, compliments, and start speaking to her emotional operating system, that's when everything changes. See, attraction doesn't happen in her head. It doesn't calculate your income or measure your words. It happens in the part of her that doesn't speak English. The part that feels. The men who captivate women effortlessly, they're not chasing. They're not performing. They understand the hidden triggers that spark emotional wildfire. They walk into a room and without a single line, women lean in. And the truth is, you don't need to be rich. You don't need to be the best-looking guy in the room. You just need to understand where to aim. Because once you know where her emotional armor cracks, you'll have a silent advantage over 99% of men. So let's break into the first hidden weakness most guys never see coming. It begins. Weakness number 1, she's not craving you, she's craving escape. Picture this, she's scrolling through her phone, surrounded by notifications, group chats, to-do lists, responsibilities. Everything feels routine, expected. Then, she sees his name. Not because he said something poetic or profound, but because he pulled her out of her world and into his. Here's the truth most men never see. Women aren't falling for looks, money, or how nice you are. They fall for the escape you offer. For the emotional experience you create. The unpredictability. The spark. The storm. Because while men chase comfort, women crave something more. Not chaos. Not drama. But emotional movement, something that jolts them out of the ordinary. Ever wonder why she obsesses over fictional bad boys? Why she rewatches those scenes where the mysterious stranger says just enough, then disappears into the night? It's not because she wants pain. It's because she's addicted to the way it makes her feel. Like her world just got flipped upside down, just for a moment. Now picture this. You text her good morning every single day. You agree with everything she says. You're always available. You're her comfort. But you're not her escape. And that's exactly how men land in the friend zone, by being consistent but not electric. But here's where things shift. When you mix comfort with tension. When your words pull her out of her head and into a world she didn't expect. That's when she leans in. Tell stories that take her somewhere. Tease, challenge, surprise her. Be the moment in her day that feels different from the rest. Because once she stops seeing you as the guy and starts seeing you as an experience, she's no longer just interested. She's hooked. And speaking of hooked, let's talk about the next hidden weakness that makes even the most independent woman lose control. It gets deeper from here. Weakness number 2, the magnetic pull of uncertainty. She sat with her phone in her hand, staring at the screen. One message, sent. Read. But no reply. Not yet. And suddenly, he was all she could think about. Here's what no one tells you. A woman doesn't obsess over the guy who's always there. She obsesses over the one she can't quite figure out. It's not cruel. It's chemistry. It's the exact same thrill that hooks you into a movie you can't pause. The uncertainty. The what's going to happen next? Think about the last show you binged. Was it the peaceful scenes that kept you watching? Or was it the cliffhangers? The unexpected twists? The characters you couldn't quite read? That's how attraction works too. She's not glued to you because she knows exactly what you'll do next. She's hooked when you make her feel something she can't predict. Most men? They give it all away. They text back instantly. They explain every feeling before it's felt. They try to remove the mystery, thinking it makes her feel secure. But what they're actually doing is killing the spark. Don't get it twisted, this isn't about playing games. It's about playing your part like a man who values his energy. Controlled uncertainty. That's the secret. Sometimes, wait before replying. Let her wonder. Sometimes, keep your cards close. Let her guess. Sometimes, don't drop everything when she calls. Let her earn your time. Because the moment she knows exactly where she stands with you, she stops feeling you. But the moment she's unsure, that's when the chase begins. That's when her mind replays your name over and over. And that's when the power shifts. Up next, we're diving into a weakness that hides behind even the strongest women. And it's the reason they fall hardest for the men they can't control. Let's keep going. Weakness number 3. Why she craves the man who doesn't bend. She didn't know why he was different. He wasn't the loudest guy in the room. He didn't flood her with compliments. He didn't try to win her over. But there was something about him. He had this quiet confidence. He didn't chase her. He didn't try to impress her. And somehow, that's what made her want him more. Here's what most guys never figure out. The men women chase the hardest? They're never the ones chasing back. And it's not ego, it's boundaries. You see, when you give yourself away too quickly, when you're always available, always agreeable, always adjusting just to keep her happy, you don't earn her love. You lose her respect. And once respect is gone, attraction fades with it. Women don't consciously seek out difficult men. They don't say, I want someone who tells me no. But look closer at who they actually gravitate toward. It's the man who has his own gravity, his own pace, his own path. He doesn't cancel his plans for her. He doesn't abandon his standards to win her affection. He draws the line, and he doesn't move it. And make no mistake, she will test you. Cancel a date last minute. Pick a fight over something small. Interrupt. Disagree. Push your limits. Not because she's toxic, but because deep down she's asking, can you handle me? Can you lead me? Can you hold your ground when I don't? If you fold, if you chase, if you cave just to avoid tension, she may smile on the outside, but on the inside she's already slipping away. But when you stand tall, when you calmly say no without explaining, when you walk away from disrespect without drama, when your energy says, I know my worth, that's when her testing stops, and her respect begins. And here's the truth. Women don't fall in love with men they can walk all over. They fall for the men who require them to rise. So if she's pulling back, ask yourself, are you showing her your standards? Or just trying to stay on her good side? Because the moment you make her earn it, the game shifts in your favor. And speaking of game changers, the next weakness we're about to dive into is the one that keeps even the strongest women emotionally hooked, without ever realizing why. Let's move forward. Weakness number 4, she's drawn to the guy who doesn't need her. He had ambition in his eyes, a fire in his chest, and plans so big they didn't need explaining. Then, she came along. Slowly, without noticing, he started canceling gym sessions, skipping meetings, putting off his goals just to spend more time with her. And at first she smiled, appreciated the attention. But then, her texts slowed. Her energy changed. And just like that, the spark? Gone. Here's what no one teaches you. She doesn't want to be your purpose. She wants to be part of a man who already has one. You think you're showing love by putting her first. But the moment she becomes the center of your world, she starts looking for a way out of it. Think about the men women obsess over. The ones they write fan mail to, chase across the world, fantasize about. Are they available 24/7? Do they cancel plans to prove they care? No. They're building empires. Living stories worth telling. Moving through life with momentum, and letting women join the ride, not drive it. She doesn't want to be your everything. She wants to witness a man who already has everything going for him. And here's where most guys get it backwards. They think devotion means availability, that showing love means rearranging their life around her. But real attraction? It's born when she feels lucky to be invited into your mission. So what do? You keep building, keep grinding, keep chasing your own mountain, with or without her applause. Never cancel your momentum just to prove your affection. Because the moment she sees you're fulfilled, focused, and already complete, that's when she starts leaning in. That's when you become the prize. And speaking of prizes, the next weakness we're about to expose is the one that flips the script completely, where even the most emotionally guarded women start doing the chasing. Let's get into it. Weakness number 5. Why she's drawn to the one who leads. She didn't notice him at first. Not because he wasn't attractive, but because he wasn't trying. He wasn't begging for attention. He wasn't asking for her opinion on everything. He just moved. Decisively. With purpose. He walked into the room like he already knew where he was going. And suddenly, every eye, including hers, followed. Here's what most guys never figure out. You don't win a woman's heart by asking her to lead the dance. You win it by leading the rhythm she didn't know she craved. Women aren't wired to fall for the man who hesitates. They fall for the one who knows. Think about it. Have you ever seen a woman gush about the guy who asks her, "What do you want to do?" Or the guy who fumbles through decisions, afraid to make the wrong move? No. She gets swept off her feet by the man who says, "We're going here. Trust me, you're going to love it." Because leadership isn't about controlling her. It's about carrying energy. It's about moving through the world with conviction. It's about being the gravity that everything else responds to. Now this is where most men fall flat. Nice guys think they're being respectful. They say, "Whatever you want is fine." They tiptoe around decisions hoping not to offend. But what they're really doing is making her feel like she has to lead herself. And deep down, even if she can't explain it, that repels her. Now, this doesn't mean you bark orders or dominate. It means you show up with direction. You know what you want. You're not afraid to disagree. You don't wait for her to guide the moment. You create the moment. Because when a woman feels like she can trust your lead, she lets go. She stops testing. And she starts following, not because she has to, but because she wants to. The men who are respected by other men, the ones women can't forget. They don't ask for permission to exist. They move. And the world adjusts. And once she sees that you're not just walking a path but carving one, she won't just be interested. She'll be magnetized. Drawn to you in a way even she won't fully understand. And that's when you become irreplaceable. If this video sparked something in you, go ahead and subscribe to Become Stoic, where we dive deep into psychology, attraction, and mastering the inner game. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out, because the next video might just shift your entire perspective. Stay sharp, stay grounded, and never forget, real strength is silent. See you in the next one.